Hello there retro heads, welcome back to A Hermit's Hideaway with me, Benny Williams, and in this video we're going to be, as I said in my Christmas pickups video, looking at some indie games. I've got obviously the HD video capture card for Christmas, which I was going to use to start planning on capturing indie games and things like that, and whether that be on the Nintendo Switch or whether that's through Steam through the PC. But I'm now able to do that. I'm also going to be covering retro games as per usual, and I'll be able to use my new Super Retro Trio with the HD capture as well to get some classic games for you guys to see me play and talk along with as well. This game is the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. It is one of my favourite games ever. I absolutely love this. I originally had this on the PlayStation 4 and I sunk absolute hundreds of hours into it. I'm not joking when I say hundreds of hours. I came very close to platinum the game. I was like one challenge off it. And that was to do with, you get a character that you unlock called the Lost, and there's just mega hard challenges with that. You like, it's one hit you die. It's just incredibly hard. I wasn't able to beat that, but basically this was the only game that I really played on the PS4 anyway, and when I found out it was coming out in a physical release on the Nintendo Switch, I thought, you know what, while the PS4 still sort of commands a little bit of value before it gets too cheap because everyone owns one and the price of the games go down, I thought I'm going to just trade it in, see what I can get for the PS4 and all my games, and I'm going to trade it in for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm just going to see if it will go back from me doing this. I'll see if it just goes into the cutscene again. If not, I might just go to the home screen, close the game, reopen it so that you can watch the intro so you can get an idea of what the game's actually about. It's a pretty messed up story, but the game's brilliant. It's entertaining as anything. And you basically have to fight against good and evil, because good and evil is all after you in this game. Everything's out to get you, so you've got to take it all on. So yeah, I'm going to try that. I'm going to close it and then we'll go back into it again, relaunch it, because I want you guys to be able to see the intro to it. It's a couple of minutes long, but just bear with it. It explains a lot about the game.
Isaac and his mother lived alone in a small house on a hill. Isaac kept to himself, drawing pictures and playing with his toys as his mom watched Christian broadcasts on the television. Life was simple, and they were both happy. That was until the day Isaac's mom heard a voice from above. "Your son has become corrupted by sin. He needs to be saved." "I will do my best to save him, my lord," Isaac's mother replied, rushing into Isaac's room, removing all that was evil from his life. Again the voice called to her. "Isaac's soul is still corrupt. He needs to be cut off from all that is evil in this world and confess his sins." "I will follow your instructions, Lord. I have faith in thee," Isaac's mother replied, as she locked Isaac in his room, away from the evils of the world. One last time, Isaac's mom heard the voice of God calling to her. "You've done as I've asked, but I still question your devotion to me. To prove your faith, I will ask one more thing of you." "Yes, Lord, anything," Isaac's mother begged. "To prove your love and devotion, I require a sacrifice. Your son Isaac will be this sacrifice. Go into his room and end his life as an offering to me to prove you love me above all else." "Yes, Lord," she replied, grabbing a butcher's knife from the kitchen. Isaac, watching through a crack in his door, trembled in fear. scrambling around his room to find a hiding place. He noticed a trapdoor to the basement, hidden under his rug. Without hesitation, he flung open the hatch, just as his mother burst through his door and threw himself down into the unknown depths below.
So there you have it. Like I say, it's a pretty messed up story, but that is the story of the game, and it is a brilliant game. It doesn't seem like it would be, but trust me, it is. I can't get enough of this game. I never get bored of playing it. The thing about this game is that the runs last anything from sort of 10 seconds to about 30-40 minutes, so we're going to see how we get on. I've already started at Filing File 1 where I started playing the game, but for the interest of the channel and introducing you to the game, we're starting a brand new File 2. I'm going to go down to the options in a minute. I'm going to turn down the sound effects and the music a little bit. So there's loads of challenges that you can do as well, very difficult, so many unlocks that you can find and stuff like that. So as you can see, here's some of the characters. We've got Magdalene, Cain, Judas, Eve, Samson, Azazel, Lazarus, Eden, Lilith, Apollyon, and you can then select a random character. Your main character, of course, is Isaac. As you can see, it's very much based on the Bible, and it's a very religious, like lots of hints to religious things, stuff like that. I think the creator, Ed McMillan, had a very religious upbringing, so this is probably his way of hitting back at what he like being forced into this sort of very religious setting, which he may or may not have liked. I don't know. Who knows? So basically, this game is very Zelda-esque. Ed McMillan has said that he takes a lot of influence from The Legend of Zelda with this game. As you can see, it's a roguelike game. It tells you the moves in this first sort of screen here, and basically we go into different depths of the dungeons. So you've got like you've got your door with a key here. You've got a room with the golden door frame around it, it's your item room. And then you've got a doorway into another room, so you go from room to room, you find enemies and collectibles and things like that, and basically you pick up different items and you make all these mad crazy combinations. Every time you replay the game, it's randomly preceded, so you never play the same floors or the same rooms twice. So obviously it tells you here, so left analog stick, in this case on the Switch, I've got it in the dog face controller, so you can move left, right, up and down with it. Your attack, it doesn't really make much sense in this, but basically it's your other analog stick, your right analog stick, or you can use X, A, B and Y. You can also use the sort of the D-pad to move around, as you can see here. I can't remember what it's called now. The D-pad where it's, well, it's not actually a D-pad, but anyway, basically your weapon is your tears, as you can see. So he's constantly crying because of what's going on. He's gone into this horrible dungeon. You get bombs, you can put down bombs. Sometimes you'll have things like these walls and you can bomb them and it will create a little opening. So let's get a start anyway. This is a trophy room, so you can use your tears to put out these fires, because if you walk into these fires, the fires will harm you. I do know quite a lot about this game, but there's hundreds of new items, so I don't know all of them. Like this one, for example, I've never come across this one before. I have no idea what it is. Sticky bomb shot, that is. So we'll see what that does in a minute. So here's our first lot of enemies, and these are sort of like some. Oh, that sticky bombs shot. I think I probably have that before. So those little blue flies there are like now helping us, and they're like projectiles. They go towards the enemies. We can pick up coins. We can find a shop. You can buy things with it. There's a soul heart just there, the blue one. I'm not going to pick that up at the moment because it takes a couple of hits and then you never regain that back, you lose it. So I'm trying to play it smart, and I'm going to come back for that towards the end of this dungeon if we hopefully make it that far. So as you can see, a couple of my flies went to the enemy there and took them out. So sticky bomb shots are doing their job, I probably want to keep away from them as well, actually, because they, if I'm too close to them, they explode. I will take damage from them, I have a feeling. So there we go, drop the first coin, which we can use that to go into an item room where there's items in there. We could actually do that because we do have enough coins to probably go in and try it out. So we have a power-up item to start with, so we could technically just leave the level now and go straight and fight the boss at the end of every room. Well, let's say at the end of every room, but there's a certain room that you've got to get to which has it's a boss room. You have that in every single dungeon. So we've got things like these bricks here, we can blow those up, we can blow up these pots. Sometimes they have things inside them, sometimes they have spiders that jump out. Sometimes they make open up other areas, doorways. Sometimes they even have a little sort of trapdoor with ladders in that you can go down. And this is our first boss we come across. This is Larry Jr. And the best way to defeat him is to shoot him in the head, because if you just shoot him in his body, he's sort of like a worm, as you can see, and if you shoot him in his body, he just sort of cuts in two like a worm does. And then you've got these sort of sluggish things, which always remind me, especially the ones with teeth. I don't know if any of you have ever seen the B-movie Attack of the Killer Condoms. Always reminds me of that film. Very random film. There was that, and there was also Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and if you don't believe me, look it up. So I think we've got rosemary breeds there for the pickup from beating the boss. Every time you beat the boss, you sort of get a pickup. Sometimes you'll get a black doorway with a devil room come up, and it will have this sort of sound effect that goes off. It's like a I forget what they call them now with the guitars, with the whammy bar, and they do the sort of wow sort of sound to it. I think they're like dives or something like that they're called, I can't remember. Which I should remember really, because I do play the guitar myself, although not so much nowadays as I used to. Something I should get back into. So basically, these are just really fat versions of the zombies that we saw came across in the first enemy room. So as you'll notice on the map up in the top left hand corner, with this room it's like in an L shape. In the original game there wasn't any L shapes. A little watch battery, so we get a little trickle charge by it seems. So basically if you get a certain power up, you press your left trigger button, the back one, which would be like on most controllers L2, which is ZL on this controller. You sometimes up in the top left hand corner you'll get a certain power up and you can use that to your advantage, but sometimes there's a bar, you've got to fill up the bar to be able to use that sort of power again. Got another key. Oh, a room full of zombies in this one, damn it. Oh, there we go. And that's exactly why I wanted to hold off getting that soul heart, because, oh, nearly died then. Down to half a heart, because I definitely would have lost that soul heart had I left it as it was. So I thought, yeah, I thought there was another heart in here. I don't want to blow myself up there now, do I? A couple of bombs, a key and a coin. So one item over there. So basically it seems with this game that it's a bit like Marmite, people either love it or hate it. As I say, it's a bit of a cult game, but in my opinion people just don't play it for long enough to really appreciate and enjoy it, because it is such an awesome game. So how am I going to do this? As soon as I get rid of that poop, and yes, it's poop on the floor, obviously all of these zombies start coming through. I think I better go for him next, because otherwise I would have got stuck in the corner there and lost a bit more health. So the very first sort of item room that you come across is a free one. You don't need a key to get into it, but on every other level after that you need a key, so you've got to try and save and spend your keys wisely where you can. So let's go into this trophy room. Do I want this? I think that's IPEC, which basically is explosive shots. So, although I haven't picked that item up yet in this game, I don't really want it because I'll probably just kill myself using it, although it is very powerful saying that. I want to collect the soul hearts now, sod it, because we are going to be heading towards the boss. And, you know, perhaps I could have just waited and picked the soul hearts up after defeating the boss, but then I might just forget about it, so let's just go and do it now. There's a treasure room, we're going there so you can see what it's like. At the moment it's very limited to what we've got, so we can only pick up a bomb and a car battery by the look of it. There's a donation machine here where you can insert coins into. The more coins you insert, the more unlocks you get, so you get more items eventually inside this donation room, and I think you get up to 4 at a time, 4 items you can get. Now that took the 12 coins. I've never had that car battery thing before, so although I did sort of want to get that and try that, I need to just start filling up. So Monstro, this is a bit of a beast of a boss, and he's got charge shots where his he builds up his shots and bursts them out. You've got to be careful. You can never stay still in these rooms, really. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate because these sticky shots, whenever he jumps, they just sort of shake off him. That's not very fair. Oh, those bottom ones. Oh no. Let's say those bottom ones then stayed on him, but then as soon as he jumped, they fell off. So, typical. Never mind. So with all these bosses to start with, when I first started playing this game, I really struggled to beat them. They were really tough. As you can see, we've got our first devil room here to have a look at. Its safety pins, so we've got evil, range and shot speed up, so the tears will be faster. We've now got a black heart, which whenever you get hit, that will take out nearly all the enemies in the room. And we've got a robe there, which is sin up. So I could take that and we'd get 2 or 3 more black hearts, but I don't really want that at this time because I don't know how many more chances I'll get, because the red hearts stay over the blue and black ones. The blue and black ones, of course, are temporary. At least with these guys, the sticky tear shots are sticking to them, doing their job. So we have a curse room just there, which is the room of teeth. And if it wasn't for the fact that I now had a soul heart, and I can't remember what the other heart's called again now, the black one, the black heart I've got there, but if we hadn't had those 2 hearts, then I would have gambled it and gone in the room, because sometimes you can get some good stuff in there, and sometimes, as it being a curse room, it's, you know, you either get something good or you basically get royally shafted in there. I've nearly lost my temporary hearts already, so should I lose the blue one shortly, I will attempt the curse room. Oh, and I have, so I'm going to attempt the curse room now. Really got to try and be quick and move out of the way of some of these enemies, because some of them are quicker than others. Oh, okay, so there's a relic. Oh, it's Holy Shield. So basically, I get a couple of hits with the Holy Shield, so it makes me invincible to a degree. Is it worth? Oh, it is worth it. So this is a mini area where you basically, as soon as you hit this chest or this bag, this door closes and you've got to fight a little wave of enemies. But I think, oh, it definitely is. So there's Stephen's head there, which is one of the bosses that you come across, which obviously we haven't come across at the moment, but oh, it's damage up, so that's perfect. that'll be handy. I'm going to leave that red crate until last because that could either be another load of bombs or it can be red flies that will attack you. And let's sort out this wave of enemies first. Well, that was a bit silly, but at least as you could see there with the Holy Mantle, I took one hit, didn't take any damage. No, I took a bit of damage, but I didn't take any damage down with the Holy Mantle. There we go, beat that. I've got a coin for our efforts and a soul heart. But we'll come back for that soul heart in a minute. So we did go now, didn't we? Yeah, because that's where we got our Holy Mantle. So we need at least another heart before I'm willing to try and go in that curse room. Because I could potentially, depending on what's in there, I could end up with nothing. Well, that's a part actually. When the Holy Mantle sort of halo comes back at the bottom of my feet, I should be okay to go and chance it because I've got an extra hit. So providing I don't get hit by these for being silly and not concentrating properly, then I should be okay to go and chance it. So it would just be it'll be going in, I won't get hit, or won't take damage, sorry. But coming out I'll take a little bit of damage. But hopefully it's worth going in for something. So there's a red chest, oh no, it's a bomb, so that wasn't worth it, but it's a gamble, you never know what you're going to get. And I've still got the Holy Mantle, so I've still got another free hit, which is good. Can't complain. So that bit with the spikes on the floor, you've got to go and hit those switches. That's new to the Afterbirth Plus. It wasn't in the original Rebirth game. So that was part of the DLC. And there's quite a few rooms that you come across like that. So there's the boss room. But I want to just venture out a little bit more. At the moment it's not worth going into the treasure room. Those red fires can spit out at you. They sort of spit out, how do you explain it? It's almost like your tears, but in a red version. It's almost like they cry their own tears and fire them at you. So yeah, I've not managed to get any more coins, so for me at least at this point it's really not worth going into the item room. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a dry throat now. Mega Man. He spits out little sort of decapitated zombies, as you can see, and also spits out these purple flames. So you've got to try and negotiate them. So almost in a way, this game has sort of bullet hell elements to it as well. So I just got lunch up, so as you can see I got another heart from that, and it just means that I could take more hits and I could also chance a devil deal. Excuse me while I have a little bit of a drink. We're in Caves 2. So this is about our third dungeon now. So of course by now you should be getting a feel for the game and what it's like. And I do generally hope that you like what you see with this game because, as I say, I love it. I've been playing it for years now. It's one of my favourite games ever. And honestly, I wasn't too sure when I first played this version of whether I really liked it or not because I played the Afterbirth version so much. I played it loads and loads, so I'm just going to use a bomb to move that coin over because it's worth like 5 or 10 coins. So you can do things like that, by the way, which is quite handy. So when you don't want to risk losing your life. That was a bit silly of me. Curse room, it's worth going in and checking. Hopefully the other chest will have soul hearts. So, no, not this time. So yeah, basically, as I was saying, I wasn't sure whether I'd really like this game, but over time I've started to really appreciate all the changes that are in there. To start with, it didn't feel too different from the Rebirth game, which is why I thought, you know, I just played the game to death, I've done it all, and it feels like I'm just doing it all again now. There are enough changes within the game to keep it going again, and for me to want to go through it. I'm not looking forward to doing all the challenges again whatsoever. They are tough. Really, really tough. I spent longer doing some of the game's challenges than I did doing the actual the character challenges. And not forgetting there that I've got the Holy Mantle, so I took a free hit. Just handy. Hopefully the X's back on again in this room. Got a little bit more protection. Like I said, I've got to stay away from those sticky tears now that attach themselves to the enemies. Another coin. L-shaped room. Got a treasure room, sorry. So we'll go and check that out in a minute. We've got enough coins to go and risk it. As you can see then on that sort of melting zombie, and you can see on that one, skeleton comes out. So there you go, you've seen the skeletons that you've got to fight sometimes, which sometimes there can be several of those in a room, or 4 or 5, and you've got to battle them all at once. That can be a pain. And of course they throw bones at you, because apparently they've got an unlimited amount of bones that they can throw. So that's a charge battery. It's a good item actually, that one is. And if you've got your special power up that you get up in the left, it stores your when it charges, it basically stores the amount, because each time you beat a room, you sort of charge a cell in your battery. And with that, it's like a reserve battery. Here we've got a pill that we could pick up and we can use, and these can either help or hinder you depending on what they are. So let's find out what this is. So that was a 1, makes you smaller. So it's made my character smaller, but his tears are still the same size, which is handy. So it just makes me harder to hit, which is handy. Oh, shouldn't have walked over that. Wasn't thinking. So we've got some golden looking poos here. Yeah, they're little poops that can attack you, and of course these are piles of poop as well. There's poo everywhere in this game, honestly. And so you can see oh, interesting. So this is the pyro bombs, I think. So you can pick these up and your bombs create little flames so you can get extra damage. So that is worth... oh no, burning blast, sorry. That is very worth having. This box here, you can put a coin in and you can change the item in there. As you can see little flies across the screen there, because obviously there's poo everywhere, and of course flies attract to poo, etc, etc. There's a lot of toilet humour in this game. Let's go to the boss room. We're fighting Gertie. Again, to start with, I really struggled defeating all these bosses and working out their patterns. I was just getting my butt handed to me every time. I need to concentrate, so I need to actually look at what's going on so I can see the pattern. And basically with this boss, every time he sort of disappears into his body, he's going to spit out a sort of little wave of bullets, as you can see there. I just got... I can't remember what those hearts are called now, but it's basically a heart that you get from heaven. Basically, if you get 2 of those, you get another life, another heart. If you've got half of one and you manage to keep it, when we jump through this doorway now to go into the next dungeon, that will also create another heart. But if you take any damage while you've got that, then you lose it and you don't get a chance to. So that wasn't such a great pickup then. Wasn't the best. I don't know what that one's for at the moment. I'm excited. It's quite a new one to me, and I haven't worked out what the pill does. I probably could have used the tower with Gertie then, which I think, if I remember rightly, shoots out a load of bombs all over the place, scatters bombs, but you do it at a risk. As you can see there, the angel heart just formed and gave me another heart. I don't want to go in that top room yet because it's a narrower room. And then we've got our oily sort of creatures here. I can't remember what these are called. They do have a name. All the enemies in the game have a name. But the original ones, when we walked in, that looked like they were the black poos instead, they weren't originally part of the game. They are new to this. These ones are new to this as well, but these other ones, these like cubes of meat here, are new. They're quite old. They're original characters, but this is sort of like a bit like, is it Vegeta? No, Frieza in Dragon Ball Z, where he has many forms. So these creatures have many forms themselves in this game. Let's go and have a look in here. To be fair, this is worth the risk because we've got a load of health, so let's try it. And we've got the Devil's Head to... It's supposed to guarantee a Devil Room at the end of every boss room that you have. It's not always the case. So it's supposed to give you a ticket into, as I say, the Devil Room at the end of every boss battle. These are pretty simple enemies to fight at the moment, nothing too bad. With these guys you can only shoot them in the brain from behind. Their face at the front's impenetrable, so they can't be killed that way. Although if you get a sort of penetrating tear, like you get an arrow item that you pick up, then that can sometimes shoot straight through them. Don't have to worry about it anymore because the sticky tears were taken out. And I've only lost half a heart, so it was worth the risk. Let's go and try the room up here. This is sort of grey version of the red sort of zombies that you get. I think there's zombies as well, or demons or whatever. I'm not quite sure what those ones are. But we've got plenty of bombs here, so we are going to go over to this other side. We can, obviously, as you can see, sometimes break these bricks and use them as a bridge. Oh, is this Super Ball? Never had that before, I don't think. Have I? Have I? I'm not sure. Yeah, go on, it's worth it for a key. It is indeed worth it for a key. Let's see if we've got a hidden room here. Yes, we do! 3 coins in there. May or may not come in handy at this point. Keep away from the red poos because the red poos can give you damage. That thing there with the rings that sort of coming out of it, like sort of breathes you in. Oh, okay, so basically I've got bouncing tears from that curio sort of pickup item that I've got down the bottom. Let's see what's in that. Oh, should have thought about where I was standing then, but never mind. It's worth going into the curse room and trying some mini devils that go invisible, and you just got to try and move because otherwise they will catch up with you. Oh, nothing in here again. That was a bit disappointing. Maybe I've just got a bad run this time. See here that one of these guys are a little bit different and they've sort of got your face. deal with him. Not worried about that. How long has this been going for now? I normally have a timer. Well, these are sort of like belly buttons. These things are weird. They could actually well be belly buttons. We've already come across some of these ghosts, but then we've got another mini ghost there, different type, which normally comes with one of the bosses, who can be a right pain to beat. Wheel of Fortune, so this will bring out a machine, and you can use some of our coins so you can get anything from it. It's like a gambling machine. Oh, there's a pill there. One makes you smaller. Oh, it blew up. Oh, I don't want one makes you smaller. I don't want to be any smaller than I am at the moment. Although it's good to sort of be small so you can sort of avoid projectiles and enemy fire. It can also get you into trouble at the same time, so I don't want to be too small. Bomb this from here, it can form a little bridge so I can get in there. That was one makes you smaller again. I don't want that. I'm not bombing a thing just for another bomb. It's just waste of a bomb for a bomb. If it was 2 bombs, it wouldn't have been worth it. There's those statues that spit out the things that I'm trying to get here. Didn't see that then. Oh, stop clock. I would get it, but the trouble with that, it's a broken stop clock. The fixed stop clock is quite good because it slows the enemies down, slows the time down, so you can manoeuvre quite easier. A broken one either speeds it up or slows it down, so it makes the enemies go faster still as well. Soul Heart will do. Do you know where to take it? Take a Soul Heart. I don't think we've come across the treasure. Oh, there it is. These guys obviously are at Brimstone. And they are tough when you've got about 6 of them in the room. What? I thought we killed them. Oh yes, quad shot, which means pick them up and I'll get, I can shoot 4 tiers out at once, so that is going to come in handy. So we've got the item room now, so we're just going to try and exit this place now. Try and get out of here, and I might even on this boss use my guard tower. Yeah, I was right, uses the bombs, but you've got to be careful where you place yourself. And that destroyed Laker really easily. We've got a damage up, which is cool. Nice. An angel room. Oh, nice. Oh, I don't know what to go for. Oh, decisions. Right, I'm going to take the shield because it almost gives you invincibility. And these angels in the middle, sometimes in the original game anyway, you could bomb them and it will turn into a boss that you've got to fight, and you can get a set of keys off them. Well, a half a key. You get a key that's broken in half and it unlocks a doorway to Mega Satan, which I'm sure at some point I'll be able to do that in this series. That's another new enemy for you guys. Basically, projectiles coming my way with the Trinity Shield, it takes the damage, so I'm protected, so I've got a very good feeling about this run and we're going to beat it. These blue flames that we've got here can be bombed. You can't extinguish them with your tears, but you can bomb them and sometimes you get a soul heart from them. It's not always, it's very randomly placed, but notice there I did take damage, but my Holy Mantle sort of took that hit for me. But as I say, no, there's no soul hearts there. I was saying that basically I can get hit by enemies still, but I'll be protected with projectiles. There's another form of ghost. But if you've got a room full of 10 of them, you are in big trouble. You've got to be so careful about your placement. Sometimes these are dice room. And let's see what this is. No, it's not a dice room, it's another item room. Sometimes it's a dice room where you can re-roll everything, so you can hit it and it will re-roll your whole floor, so it will change the floor a little bit, or it will change all the power-ups that you got. So as you can see, the combination I've got at the moment, I've got, you can see the icons there. I've got the holy shield, the Trinity shield. I've got the bandage for size up. I've got the burning bombs. I've got the safety pin. I've got the rosemary beads. I've got the quad shot, the devil's head. I've got the devil's medallion. I still can't remember his name at the moment. That face, that other thing. The sticky shots. So I'm not doing too badly at the moment, but depending on what you pick up, you get some weird and wonderful combinations. Go into this treasure room. Oh, and it's greed. Oh, nice! We've got a Steam sale, so it's 50% off in the item room, which at the moment doesn't do a lot because there's only really one item in the item room. I've got to fill up that donation box to unlock more items yet. And there's the devil's room, so you know what, let's go for it, because we've been playing this for a while now, and this is your mom in the boss form. You've got to fight now. So yeah, turn of events, the final boss that you play against is your mother, who sent you down here after she was trying to kill you.
Isaac!
So if you pay attention to the big shadows on the floor, see where it's going to come down. But while there's other things going on, your eyes have sort of got to adjust to what's going on.
Isaac! Isaac!
A few more hits and Mom will be dead. And you will have beat the game. And the game's got so much replay value, because this isn't it after you beat it. I don't want to give too much away at this point. There's so much more to the game. There's so much replay value. Hundreds and hundreds of hours worth.
Isaac was
So there we go, we beat the game, we beat
His
Mum.
mother, fueled with the desire to serve her God, was bearing down on Isaac. I will do as I'm told, my lord. I love you above all else, Isaac's mother repeated to herself. This was the end of the line for Isaac. His mother was far too strong for him. But just as he accepted his fate, God intervened, sending an angel down from above to stop his mother's hand. And just like that, it was over.
There you go, the credits. After the credits finish rolling, it starts showing the unlocks. You can skip it, which I'm going to do, and should have a couple of unlocks show up. So we've unlocked the womb, which is another place that we can go to after we beat Mom. So we've unlocked another area that we can go into, and there's quite a few unlocks going on here. Look, some challenges that we can go and play, which are really tough. We've unlocked some more bosses there as well, some items, so What did you think of the game? Please let me know in the comments. Did you enjoy it? Is it something you'd like to play yourself? I paid £32 for the physical copy. It's a great physical copy. It comes with a small full colour manual, loads of stickers inside it, and of course the physical game. And there's so much more to the game. There's so many unlocks to it, more levels to unlock. The dungeons get bigger and stuff like that. There's so much depth to this game that you wouldn't believe, and it's just one of those you've got to stick with it to get better at it and enjoy it. So if you liked it, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.